Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about how we can integrate our integration tests into our continuous integration and delivery pipelines. Now, no pipeline can be complete without automation testing, right? So if your tests are not automated, you cannot complete your continuous delivery or continuous integration pipeline. So we are going to see how we can integrate our Selenium or Cucumber tests in our in the Jenkins pipeline, right? So I'm going to use this project. This is already in my GitHub repository, which you can directly use. So it's a simple Selenium Cucumber project, right? So I have a couple of features here. So it does nothing. It launches a web page and then verifies whether that web page is displayed or not correctly. So I have this Cucumber feature. I have the step definitions, and then I have the test runner, which runs my feature files, right? So this is a typical Cucumber project, Selenium Cucumber project, right? I have all my dependencies in the pom.xml file, uh, and I'm also using the Surefire plugin, right, to run my Cucumber test, which is nothing but a JUnit test, right? So using by the help of this plugin, it will run all the integration tests for my project, right? So we are going to see how we are going to integrate this into our Jenkins project, right? So let me go ahead and create a new project here. So I'll give it a name, Selenium Cucumber demo. Now you can use any kind of, you can either use a freestyle project or you can use a Maven project also, because we'll be running our test through the Maven POM file, right? So I'll choose a Maven project. Now, I need to give a description for this project. So you can give anything here. So I'll say this is a simple Selenium Cucumber project. Um, all these options are not required right now. We will require our source code management, right? So we'll choose Git here. We need to enter the repository URL. So I'll go to my GitHub repository, which is called the Selenium sample. Um, and I will copy this HTTPS GitHub URL. I'll paste it here, the repository URL. The branch will be master. I am not putting any build triggers right now, neither build environment. Yeah, so coming here, now our root pom is pom.xml. Now make sure if you have your pom.xml somewhere else, then you need to change this path, right? Then we need to give some goals, some Maven goal to this project, right? So that it will run that goal. So I will give clean install. So it's going to run different phases of the Maven build lifecycle, including compile, test, uh, and then install, right? So post steps, I don't require anything. Now, one important thing, I want to see my Cucumber results in my Jenkins build, right? For every Jenkins build, I want to see my Cucumber results. So for that, you require some plugins. So I'm going to show you that. But before that, let me just choose that Cucumber reports, right? So this is the Cucumber reports, and you don't need to configure anything. But if you want to see, there are some advanced options here, right? You can put the file include pattern, exclude pattern, JSON reports path if you want to derive the reports from. You can give the report a title also, but I'll go with the default options, right? So go ahead and click on save. So our Jenkins configuration is ready for our build. Now, before that, before I run this build, I would like to show you what are the plugins required for showing up the Cucumber reports, right? So go to Manage Jenkins and go to Manage Plugins. And there, as I've already installed it, either you can go to available tag and search for Cucumber, right? And it will show you all the Cucumber plugins which are required. So this is the plugin I'm using, Cucumber Reports, right? I have also downloaded the Trend Reports and Living Documentation plugin. But for this video, I'm just using the Cucumber Reports, right? So this is the plugin. Let's go back to our Jenkins dashboard and we'll search for a project and we'll go ahead and build this now, right? So it has started building and we'll see what is going on in the logs. So let's go ahead and see the console output. So if you can see, it's cloning the GitHub repository, right? It is checking out your code from the repository and then it is parsing the POM file. So it will download all the dependencies and plugins which are required for this project. And then it is going to run your Maven goal, which is the ambient clean install, right? So it's going to run all the different build phases within the goal one by one until it reaches the ambient install phase, right? So this is going to take some time. Let me pause this video and then we'll see what has happened when it completes. Okay, so the build has completed, and if you see at the logs, if as I'm not running it this build for the first time, it has already downloaded all my plugins and dependencies into my local repository. That's why I did not download it again. But if you run it for the first time, it is going to the logs are going to be looking much too heavier, right? So there will be a lot of other logs. Now, if I go down, you will see here the tests are now starting up, right? Using the Surefire plugin, it is now running all my Chrome browser tests, which I wrote in the feature file. So, and then it is also creating a jar file, snapshot jar for my project, and it is going to install it into my Maven local repository, right? And the build is a success. So this is the logs. And if I go back to my dashboard and this is my project, and you can see on the top there is a Cucumber reports link, right? So if you click on this link, you will see a plugin which this Cucumber reports plugin. It generates a beautiful report with all the details for your Cucumber features and which have passed, which have failed, right? So how many features you ran, what were the steps, how many steps were there, how much time it took. So all different kinds of details are present here, right? So this is my feature, this scenario, this is the steps. So what was the time, date and time. So everything is present here, you will find here. So it's a pretty good plugin. If you're working with Selenium Cucumber, you can definitely use this plugin. So this is how you can create a Jenkins Maven project for your Cucumber Selenium tests, right? So you can run your Jenkins continuous integration, include your tests within the continuous integration pipeline. So next we will see how we can create a Jenkins pipeline project and insert our Selenium Cucumber tests in that pipeline, right? So finally, please share any comments or feedback you have for this video with me. And also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, QScript, so that you don't miss any future videos which I'll be releasing on different automation topics, and especially on DevOps or Jenkins, right? You can also visit me at qscript.com. So join me in my next video where we'll be looking at creating a pipeline project for our Selenium Cucumber tests.